You're not moving your right now, are you? You're not driving.
No, well, I'm not. I'm actually sitting in the parking lot as the kids just went in to start with the bounce house.
Okay,
So,
safety first.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
We
All
got
right.
car seats in the background, so.
No worries. I'm going to call this special meeting. It is 8:30 on Thursday, July 28th to order. Would you all please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Bartholomew,
Here.
Edwards,
Here.
Fowler, Hart,
Here.
Parker,
Here.
Poznanski, President Malzahn.
Here.
We have 5 present.
Okay, we just have one agenda item. Can I get an approval of the agenda?
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Support.
That was by Parker, support by Hart. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Public comment? Hearing none, let's move on. We have one business item, which is the Powell Road paving work order. I don't know if anybody watched the Bruce Township meeting from last week, but Bruce Township has asked for some relief from their obligation for this Powell Road repaving project due to financial issues at Bruce Township, as well as their positioning that the road does not affront any property that they own. They had invited the County Road Commission, represented by Mr. Brian Santos and John Paul Rea, to the meeting. Mr. Santos attended with, I'm not sure who was with you. There was 4 or 5 gentlemen from the Road Commission that tried to explain the county's positioning and how they figure out the cost share agreements. This project was originally submitted under Mike Lee with Richard Corey and John Paderak. It was submitted under a TIP grant, which was approved in a $1.6 million allocation. So with that said, after Bruce Township approved a motion to pay $33,000 of their portion, the county came back, JP requested a meeting on Monday, said, look, we think that this is a better allocation of funding, which you have on that sheet in front of you, which is 30% coming from the Village of Romeo, 20% from Armada, and 10% coming from Bruce Township. Do you have anything to add, either one of you gentlemen?
Yeah, Christine, if you wouldn't mind, members of the Village Council, thank you for the opportunity and your willingness to facilitate a special meeting. I want to give a tremendous amount of credit to Brian Santo and our team at the Department of Roads. We very much understand the sensitivities surrounding long-term commitment to infrastructure projects, and specifically with Powell Road, when this whole idea started to, cultivate itself about 3 years ago now. We were in tune to the needs of the community and the ability for us to facilitate a temporary fix on Powell Road. With the goodwill of the Department of Roads, our teams got out there. We were able to facilitate a heavy maintenance program out there. We were able to do some overlays and ensure that we can have the efficient movement of travel. Since then, Brian and the team working with the local communities, boards, elected officials, some of which are no longer with the community, we were able to obtain a grant to ensure that this $1.9 million project can not only meet its objectives and ensure that we have a roadway that will serve a burgeoning business corridor in the North Macomb County area. Since we started these conversations, we understand that there's been a turnover with boards and commissions, and obviously the financial complexities a lot of us see as we are post-pandemic. With that, Brian and team were asked and petitioned not only by Bruce Township, but also by our native township with regards to a consideration of maybe bringing in some factors associated with road frontage. Brian and the team went back to the drawing board. We feel that the proposal that is in front of you today is an equitable proposal with regards to the frontage along Powell Road and the properties in each corresponding community that it does impact. Ultimately with this, while yes, there's an increase specifically to the commitment, if it would be shared by all 3, just a straight third from the local, specifically for the village, we have been able to drive costs down considerably on this project, to the point of where our Department of Roads team has stepped it up, not only being able to bring down costs from the engineering, scoping, and sequencing of this. And again, there is a commitment throughout all the projects that we engage with our locals that if there's economies of scale, if there are savings that are on the table, that those resources go directly back to benefit the local communities. Brian, I want to hand it over to you real quick so you can kind of go over some of the alien scientists and mathematics you and the team were able to put together with this proposal. And again, Christine, to you and the entire village council there, we very much appreciate your consideration on this matter and very much hope that we will have an affirmative vote so we can get this on the books as quickly as humanly possible. Go ahead, Brian.
Thanks, JP. And just to reiterate, we obviously started off with an estimate back in early December of last year, and that was truly just an estimate based on approximate numbers. So we were able to fine tune, obviously, the PE, the preliminary engineering portion of it, looked at the construction engineering costs, reduced that. We did have discussions with all three communities, like JP said, to come up with a fair and equitable distribution of the local match, which was 60% to the communities, 40% to the Department of Roads. This has been a culmination since 2018 with meetings with local leaders, with local manufacturers, as far as the push for this road to get completed. We're trying to facilitate that. We did get 1.4 million, low 1.4 million as an 80% match to the project, which is a great ratio, leaving 20% to us and you as the local. So we would ask that you approve this cost share as has been revised and is in front of you today. Thank you.
Can you just recap the time frame of this? Because when we talked, we knew that there was an impetus to get all of the three communities to schedule a meeting very quickly. Because when are you ready to actually do the work, shovels in the ground?
Proposed to start sometime in August, in the latter part of August. So this project is pretty much ready to go. We just needed to facilitate the cost share agreements and participation by all three communities involved.
Perfect. Just so that everybody could understand why I called the special meeting and it can't wait till August, so. Does anybody have any questions regarding the project, funding, cost share?
One obvious question would be if the county thinks that the ratios are good to reduce Bruce's, even though that would be a gateway to the development that they have planned, is the 40% hard and fast from the county? Can the county pick up another 5 and ask the village to pick up another 5?
The protocol and policy for decades with these types of projects, which we inherently stick to from in the past to moving forward, is a 60-40 on local roads. If it fell into a primary road category, that ratio would be 50-50, but as local roads are split and shared in all communities, it is a 60-40 split. We would hate to start a trend or alter our percentages as far as this goes moving forward. I think that would be an issue with other communities and our practice and protocols for decades.
So that would be a no. It's got to be 40%. Okay.
That's understandable.
I asked it. So the amount that Romeo is being asked to cost fund is $159,611. Again, that's for the repaving of Powell Road from 32 Mile Road up to 33 Mile Road. Is that a complete surface? Are you just milling overlaying? I know you don't have to give me all the nitty gritty details, but what kind of improvements are we actually doing?
Yes, it is considered heavy maintenance. It is a rehabilitation project. A total remove and reconstruct project of 1 mile long of this roadway would probably be somewhere in the realm of $6 to $8 million. This is a heavy maintenance. We do concrete patch repairs, we do milling, we do any curb repairs, remove and replacements that are necessary, and then we cap all of the existing concrete after we mill it with new asphalt surface on the top. So
And the life expectancy of a repair of that nature?
we would consider this repair probably along the range of 12 to 15 years. Our total remove and reconstructs are 25 to 30 years, but obviously there's significantly more cost involved in those types of projects.
Okay. So,
And President Milzon, the other thing that I'd like to throw in here with regards to the shelf life of the roadway is the continued conversations that we're having not only with representatives from the village, including yourself, also the business community and some of the strategic investments that are in the pipeline. Our planning and economic development team has been working tirelessly with Brian and his team to ensure that as we sequence this investment in the roadway, that there are a number of proposals that are on the table from businesses in the village of Romeo along the Powell Road corridor that are looking at expansion and substantial investments. This is truly the spark that will ignite a tremendous amount of more interest along the Powell Road industrial corridor, and then very much will be another element with regards to our continued efforts along the Romeo Ford engine plant, the property, and future plans and strategies out there. So we have been in tune to the needs of the business community. We were able to develop a narrative that made us competitive in bringing in a tremendous grant, and we very much not only have a larger vision for what the Powell Road Industrial Corridor will become, but how it links into strategies along 32 and 33 Mile Road and additional infrastructure investments moving forward.
Thank you for that. Just to go back, we have budgeted this fiscal year for this project $141,000. That was on our goals and objectives worksheet, which you have in front of you. You also have a report from the Municipal Street Fund from Danielle Kelly that says that we have a fund balance of $676,000. And so the additional $18,000 that you're looking to add to the cost share of this project, the funding is available within our budget.
With everything that's been discussed, I would make a motion to approve the cost of the $159,612. I think with the timing and that the county is supporting Bruce in their reduction, I don't think we can get this resolved in time. So
You can also
the cost.
include the execution of the agreement.
Okay, motion to approve the execution of the cost share agreement by President Malzahn on behalf of Romeo for allocated amount of $159,612 to complete the Powell Road reconstruction project.
Support.
We have a motion by Hart, we have support by Bartholomew. Any other discussion?
Yeah, so going back historically on this, I think back in 19, when this originally was started, we were talking a full reconstruction at a 1.2 million, and now we're looking at 1.9 for just like a resurface. And then at that point, I know Armada and Romeo were paying equal portions, and I think it was along the lines of 58 to 60,000. So I'm just trying to figure out where the difference is coming in. And I think originally the federal funding was covering almost 90%. Now it's closer to 70%. So where did the difference come in? Because I think it comes out like 72%, and before it was like 87 point whatever percent.
If I may, President Malzahn.
Yes.
The concept of this project moving forward was never a total full complete remove and reconstruct and replacement. It was considered a heavy maintenance program like we do throughout the county to preserve our roads independent of a total reconstruct. So the original cost that was thrown out there was not for a total reconstruct, remove and replace. That's why there's not the astronomical cost. Like I said, if we go, just for an example, if we go to 2 lane to 5 lane, which is a capacity job, where we remove a 2 lane road and go to a 5 lane capacity, total remove, reconstruct, that's approximately 9 to 10 million current dollars. That would never suffice as far as what we estimated previously as far as a mill and fill rehabilitation project versus a total remove reconstruction. So I don't know where the confusion lied on that, but the submittal was for repaving, and we consider that along this stretch a rehabilitation project, which is our mill and fills that we do throughout the county.
It's my understanding that the original submittal and the original estimates were just based on construction numbers from 2018, 2019, right? Obviously, we're in 2022. We have a tremendous increase in supply chain issues and contractor issues, but the final numbers weren't really developed until the engineering was completed, which was not a part of the original submission. Is that correct? So it was
Yes,
everybody's just best guess effort, which may
Yes,
have.
that's correct.
Yeah, I can respect that. I still question then why Armada would be less than what Romeo was providing, because I mean the road's falling equally on both sides of the line.
Well, Armada's position was that Romeo just annexed a large chunk of their industrial park, and so it doesn't affront as much area as Romeo does. That's why they've asked for some relief from it as well.
It's
Keep
just
it the
a
same.
big jump.
They're keeping it the same though. They're still at 20%.
Well, they're at 20% of it, but of the new number.
Right.
Right, yeah.
So we're still paying 60 for the three communities. They're still at the same percentage. Ours was increased to make up for the deficit of Bruce.
Bruce, yep. Yep. All right, any other discussion or questions? If
Yeah.
not, could you call a roll for me?
Hart,
Yes.
Bartholomew,
Yes.
Edwards,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
President Milzan.
Yes.
Votes 5-0.
Motion carries. All right, can I get a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, meeting closed.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, everyone.
So I'll get that exit